Ladies and gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
Do you hear me? Good. You have good ears. Do you see me?
No.
I have a good body. Ladies and gentlemen, are you glad to be here? I'm very glad to be here too. What a coincidence. You are very, very lucky people because you are listening to one of the most highly paid speakers. Do you know how much they pay me for 1 hour of speech?
How much?
Any guess? $6,000 per hour. This means that I get paid $100 per minute. Listen to me carefully. Do you know how frequently they call me to speak? Once every 1 to 2 years. And those who invite me to speak usually ask me to limit my speech to 5 minutes to reduce cost. In fact, this is the only occasion where the organizers did not ask me to limit my speech. They made a deal with me. I speak for free time as long as I do it for free. So God knows when you will eat your dinner tonight. A typical way of reducing costs. And let me ask you this, since you are maintenance people. If your manager is reviewing the cost sheet and he notices that the cost for repairing pumps is the highest among all other equipment, and if he asks you to reduce the cost by 10% during next year, what is the best way to do it? What? The best way to do it is to charge 10% of next year work orders against motors. If you cannot dazzle them, confuse them. Confusion is a common practice in maintenance. That's why when I heard MAINTCON, I thought it was maintenance confusion. Sorry for being negative, but I'm negative by birth. I try to be positive, but how can I be? My blood type is B negative. My friend who was more positive than me said, no, it's not maintenance confusion. I think it is maintenance contracts. We had a little argument that developed into a heated debate, which ended up with 100 riyal bid. And indeed, I registered in this conference and came here to find out what MAINTCON stands for. Maybe you're asking, why didn't you just read the brochure? Who reads nowadays? Besides, I wanted just an excuse to come to this lovely place and be among such wonderful people and attend this great conference. It's great to be here, and one of the biggest advantages is finally we maintenance people had the time to sit together and speak in pride of what we do, away from those who always put us down. You know what I'm talking about? Operations. We always had problems with operations. We always had war with them. This war seems to be non-stop. And who is the winner? Maintenance or operations? Who is the winner? in that war? Who is the winner? I think engineering. Engineering are very clever. They always watch the war between us. And they watch the missiles going from here to there, between operations and maintenance. They watch us very quietly and happily until we expose each other and decrease each other. Then they step forward to our management and condemn both of us. And when engineering talk to our management, they are always confident. And they sound scientific, very convincing. And we always feel weak, we cannot fight back. Imagine if you are a maintenance professional with 20-year experience, standing, listening to a young engineer with only 2 years experience, explaining to your manager what happened, pointing to something on the floor. While the manager is watching this little young guy with full admiration. This young guy will be pointing his finger to something in the floor, saying, Mr. Manager, this broken pump shaft was damaged because it was subjected to excessive shearing forces. That resulted from a seized bearing, which seized because of negligent operation, because of lack of lubrication, combined with bad maintenance practices, because of internal misalignment during last repair. What can you do? Even if that young little guy was pointing to a broken light post, believe me, you can say nothing. Engineering always sounds scientific. They are always confident. Maintenance people, it is time to stop the battle with operations. Let's ally our forces to attack engineering. And if we cannot really beat them, let's convince our management that it's not our fault, nor the operations fault, it's the design fault by engineering. And it's BMT who made it worse, by bad commissioning. And if we cannot beat engineering, let's join them. Why can't we join them in being so confident about themselves and so proud about what they do? Can't we? How come they are so confident, they sound so scientific, and they are very articulated when it comes to the body of knowledge in engineering? How come they are so abreast about the new technologies and the state-of-the-art technologies in their fields? What is it that they do that we didn't do over the years? To answer this question, they surpassed us in all those aspects because they were ahead of us in arranging and attending such great conferences. Let's join them. And I'm really glad to see that we finally made it. A maintenance conference. So please give a hand to the organizers of this conference. Before I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank the organizers for organizing such a great conference. And I would like to urge everybody to think high of himself or herself. If you just happen to be one of the maintenance professionals, I'm really dreaming of the day where each one of us think very high of himself. I'm looking for a day where our maintenance technician is dispatched to the job site not in a truck, but in a long black limousine. I look for the day where he is received by one engineer and one operation, accompanying him in a red carpet to the valve with a stethoscope and sophisticated equipment in his pocket. I'm looking for the day where everybody respects us. And most important, if we respect ourselves more. He will be approaching the valve, examining him, and everybody is just waiting for his diagnosis. I don't know if this day will ever come. I'm not sure about this. But what I'm really sure about is that your dinner is delicious.